Get indeed he needs. Good morning all. And it is actually morning today when I'm recording this. It's now actually approaching 5 to 9 in the morning, and I thought I'd get my walk sorted out of the way and get this uploaded as soon as possible, because it's the weekend and fuck all's going to happen, so might as well get them all out of the way. And I think this is pretty much now descended into just a walking vlog series. But there are a few, as I said, ideas that I'd like to try. It's the first time in ages I've seen a motorway empty. Now, see, that to me is a good thing. But yeah, I got up early this morning, and I thought, I've been feeling a little bit shit the past couple of days. Not really been sleeping too well. Although I was knocked out the other night at like 8:30 in the evening. But yeah, I sound raspy and snivelly because I'm always like that in the morning. And I'm kind of regretting coming out like this, because guess what? I've been asked to go to the shop again to pick up some sugar. Some sugar and some bread for me now. Why she couldn't ask me to pick that stuff up yesterday, I'll have no idea. So, doing a little bit of a different walk today. Coming the same way, but where I'd usually turn left to go up the big hill. Just carrying on. More towards, God, I'm out of breath. Got a stitch already. Fuck it. But yeah, so I'm gonna walk up to Apollon train station. Probably walk past it, because I've never been past Apollon train station on a walk, because I've only ever gone to Apollon train station. So yeah, we'll see where we go. I'm missing everyone. Hope everyone's okay. Hope you're enjoying the videos I'm making for everyone. Oh well, this will be all over soon, so we can all catch up again. Dispelling the myth of a family video, because I think someone's behind me. So yeah, hope everyone's keeping well. Did absolutely fuck all yesterday, just had a few beers in the garden, because it was nice. It was a nice morning as well. It's a little bit chilly, but I've got my sweatshirt in my bag, so if it does get a little bit more nippy, is there actually someone behind me? No, I'm sure I saw someone behind me. Probably is, I can't see the viewfinder properly. So I had a few beers last night. We'd lifted out some chicken, because we were going to have a stir fry, but we just ended up using Quorn chicken bites instead. So, Birdsong. The perfect soundtrack. Yeah, there is someone behind me. Yeah, so I made myself some chicken schnitzel on baguette, and it was absolutely lovely. I love making schnitzel. And then it kick-started of memories of when I used to live in Germany, where I'd be doing shit like this every day. Going walks, discovering new places, getting on a bicycle, because that's probably the best way you could see a city like Regensburg. You don't have to depend on public transport. Pointless getting a car. So yeah, I used to do a lot of stuff like this when I was living in Germany. Yeah, you might be laughing at me, you cunts, but at least I'm not driving in a pack of 3. They probably weren't laughing at me. It's such a normal thing nowadays for someone to be talking in front of a camera. But then again, there is that small town, small mindset, especially in a place like Skem. Even though I was praising it yesterday, which I do. Because you are where you come from, aren't you, really? And it helps shape you. Shaped a lot of decisions. It's one of the big reasons why I actually thought, oh, fuck it, I'm going to live at Germany, fuck off here. Live in Germany for a bit. There's the train lines. Upon train station, one of the most unreliable train stations you'll ever have the displeasure of using. Especially if there's supposed to be bus or rail replacement. Because they just don't show up. Even though on both Network Rail and the Trainline app, it still shows that the services are running. So I've spent a few times stood there like an absolute prized twat. So yeah, no idea where I'm going to go on this walk. Don't really want to walk too far because I've got to go back on myself into the co-op. But yeah, we shall see. I think I'm just entering a little village or something like that. Ooh, outsider bringing the plague. But yeah, before I started filming, actually shat myself because a fucking police car drove past. Doing nothing wrong. I've done nothing wrong, but I'm still a wee bit nervous. Stop. Carry on, please. What the fuck? Why has he done that? Fuck it. This whole situation's put people on a knife edge, hasn't it? But yeah, police car drove past. They probably just didn't even bat an eyelid, but I was like, shit, I haven't got my passport on me. I don't have any ID, what if they ask me what I'm doing? And then I was like, I'm doing nothing wrong. I'm exercising my right as a citizen. Having a walk. And buying essentials. There's once again another group of three ride past me on bicycles. But yeah, it's a lovely part of the country, this. Farmers' fields there. Shaky as fuck camera, of course. I'm trying to keep it down because I don't want to wake people up. So yeah, beautiful farmhouses there. Don't know if you can see it. What a nice property that is. Tell you what, it must be hard being a farmer at these times, because you've got no one to work in the fields, have you? Well, mind you, let's face it, a lot of them do exploit immigrants, but well, I'm joking. Calm your tits. I thought that was a bad song. No, it's a chainsaw. Okay, so I'm just pretty much walking to like the middle of nowhere now. Maybe I'll stay there, away from other human contact, and just do beer supply runs for the rest of my life. Tell you what, those preppers and people who got laughed at for living off the grid, they must be absolutely pissing themselves with laughter at us now. But yeah, having a bit of a walk in the country. So yeah, police drove past and I was like, oh god. And then I got nervous about thinking of when I'm in the co-op, because I was there yesterday and they'll be asking, what are you doing here? You were here yesterday. I mean, I could play the card that my mum is a nurse, but I'm not going to exploit that card. But I'm picking stuff up from my nan anyway, so if they kick off, they kick off. They're just doing the job, really. They're just as scared as everyone else. Because we all know that fear is the currency of control at the end of the day. And even though they do this shit anyway, they've now deemed it legal for this device that I'm filming on, my phone, to to be used as a way of tracing people's footsteps in this pandemic. They do that anyway. I'm under no illusions. We're being watched 24/7. Doesn't matter. You can have all your VPNs and stuff like that. At the end of the day, if they want to get you, they'll get you. I've not been arrested yet. I made that joke to my mum a few months ago. I was talking about the insect activities and she was like, "Why, what have you been doing? What have you done?" I was like, "It's a fucking joke, calm down." So yeah, fear is the currency of control. But again, I can't stress enough, don't be a dickhead at this time. Don't defy just to prove a point. Stop going to your house parties. Stop your gatherings. Loads of reports around scammers, like gangs of youths. It just won't change. But don't be one of those pricks. Because at the end of the day, it's behaviour like that will cost lives. And will keep us under house arrest even longer. If people just had an ounce of common sense, then we'd do a lot better. So I've come to a crossroads. That's not a crossroads, is it? Would that be described as a fork in the road? Or is it more of a prick on a path? So I think it'd be sensible for me to turn around here, but I won't. It's gorgeous outside. It's a little bit nippy, but I have got a sweatshirt in my backpack, and I've also got, because I'm healthy. No, this isn't the latest juice bomb from Other Half, although I wish it fucking was. It's just a nice bottle of orange juice. Doesn't taste too different to the latest juice bomb either, does it, really, at the end of the day? What a world we live in, brewing wise. Glad to see a lot of breweries are still able to brew their beers and get them distributed in new avenues. And I've said this before, for the breweries that do come out on top out of this situation, because there will still be breweries and other companies throughout all industries that will unfortunately fold. It'll be good to know. Joe, I'm going to turn around here actually. Yeah, let's go back. Potential thumbnail. There we go. Right, let's go back this way. Because I'll continue going on. And probably end up at like, when was it? Like last year when I went to Bickerstock with my dad. We took a wrong turn when we were walking home. And we're pretty much at like the Rainford bypass. So going on to like St Helens way, I think. Why have I done this? There's no path. Yeah, we ended up walking pitch black, no lights, through country back roads for like an hour. It's good exercise though. Walked off the alcohol I consumed on that day. So yeah, just rambling again. And I forgot to finish my whole German story. I mean, most of the time when I was going out and about the house is because I was bored, because I wasn't working. So when my ex was actually working, then I'd just be bored out of my fucking tree, to be honest. So I'd used to get on my bike, go around the city to places I've never been to, go to like neighbouring sort of towns and stuff, And I'd always because I was on like the quest for beer, I'd always go, oh, there's a drinks market, or Getränkemärkte, I think that's how it's pronounced. Joe, I could be using this time to actually relearn German, or even learn Italian, because I'd still love to visit Italy, go to Sicily, Naples. I've got a feeling Italy specifically will be off the cards for a lot of people for a lot longer than other countries when this is all got some resonance of control to it, because it is a shit situation. And I know I keep making the point of, you know, going out for 2 walks, but I do firmly believe that, you know, we should be as sensible and as courteous as possible, because, you know, the number of NHS professionals who are not only contracting this but also now succumbing to it, it's scary stuff. And these are the people who we need to help heal us. So don't be one of those gobshites who goes to a hospital just to see if it's empty or not. Because of course hospitals are going to close down portions of the hospital and move different patients to different areas depending on their situation. So of course it's not going to be jam-packed. You know, it's not like a military hospital in Afghanistan where it's just stacks and stacks of beds and bodies. They'll utilise space a lot more. And I tell you one thing, after all this is gone, which I don't think it will. I think that we'll still have, you know, that lingering aftertaste. Some of these managers at some of these hospitals, I mean, a lot of them not only need to have the jobs taken from them, but I think there's some stuff going on for prosecutions, potential prosecutions at mishandling of funds. How gorgeous is that house? I'm showing it. Oh. There we go. Yeah, the mishandling of funds and things like that, and, you know, jobs for the boys, that sort of stuff, and fraud, outright fraud. You see quite a few GPs getting in on that, making out that they've got such and such just to get a little bit of extra money. So I think there's going to be a really big shake-up. But I know for a fact that we're all going to be, you know, clapping for key workers and all that sort of stuff. But as soon, a year, 2 years down the line, once we can look back on this situation, hopefully, we'll still kick off at nurses. Nurses will still get dragged through the mud in mainstream media. So we won't change. I'd like to think we will. I'd like to think that we'd end up being a little bit more human to each other. But we're still going to pick each other apart. We're still going to claw at each other's faces, drag people's names in the mud out of spite and jealousy. So it's still going to happen. But I'd like to think a lot more people are going to be a bit more together when the time calls for it. So yeah, back to the German story. So I'm quite used to this sort of situation, really. It wasn't, at the time I thought it was the best because I was, you know, in a relationship with the woman I thought I'd end up marrying. But I look back and I think I wasn't in a good place. I was an absolute bum, do you know what I mean? Living off other people's generosity. So in a way, although there are days and moments where you dwell in situations that will make me do the thing you shouldn't do and look back and think, what could I have done better? it actually made me, for better or for worse, the person I am today. And I'll let you be the judge of that. See, I was used to just staying in, having little human contact, but it still does every now and then. It can get to you, and as I was saying earlier on, it's got people literally terrified of each other, where you'll see people literally running across the road so you don't have to cross paths, even at a safe distance. And God, take tinfoil hat off for 1 second, beer, and there will be people who will capitalise on this. I tell you what, who is taking the piss? Sky right now, because obviously we don't need a lot of our Sky packages now, because there's no sport, so why would you pay for it? So we've been trying to get that paused and cancelled outright, but I mean, I understand a lot of people are doing the same thing, so it's going to cause backup. I work in a call centre. When it gets busy, it gets really fucking busy. But there's even, like, on the phones, a 1 to 2 hour queue for vulnerable and key workers, which of course my mum's a nurse, so should we do that? And if you try doing it online, the website just shits itself, kicks you out, and you have to try again. So I understand they're going to be absolutely battered, and I do feel sorry for the people who are working in those call centres, because they'll get a brunt of the frustration from people. But yeah, that's been annoying people in the house. I can't be arsed when people start moaning in close proximity to me. Depends what type of moaning, of course. Wait. I've got the hair of like a 70s racist comedian. I might as well make ignorant jokes like a 70s racist comedian. First thing I'm going to do once I'm actually allowed to do stuff, getting this sorted. It's an absolute travesty. It really, really is. So yeah, I've been quite used to self-isolating, to be honest, because even though I'm walking in the street talking to a camera, I'm really quite an introverted person, really, and it does take me a lot to come out my shell. So, you know, but they're doing this whole sort of stuff. It's helped me out a hell of a lot, and I've realised I'm nearly at, or might be at, 10 years of uploading content to YouTube, which is an insane thought. If not a little bit longer than that, because I used to do like the vloggy sort of stuff when YouTube was about people. Then I started doing like the whole tag sort of thing. Then I moved on to doing movie reviews, which I actually got revenue from that. I remember for like 2 months in a row I got like 800 quid each month. But then of course, with the fact that I was reviewing exploitation films and retro porn, a lot of videos got age restricted, can't monetize them. Then I went through the whole breakup where I literally lost my mind for about a year, just didn't touch the channel. Then of course I got really into the whole beer tube stuff, and yeah, and then it's pointless to be going back to that channel now because of the whole cancel culture, demonetisation. Surprised I've not been arrested with some of the content I was putting up. I never showed insertion or anything like that. So yeah, on my way now to the co-op. Gonna pick up some supplies. Rushing this video because there's someone walking towards me and all of a sudden starting to feel a bit self-conscious. So yeah, hope everyone's doing well. Hope everyone takes care and I shall see you soon. See you later.